But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people. To you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is the Messiah, the Lord." Today we have the gift of reflecting on the second joy of St. Joseph, that is, his presence at the glorious birth of the Christ child, Jesus. Joseph was chosen by God the Father to be the foster father of the Son of God, and as such, Joseph had the extraordinary privilege of being present when the choir of angels sang the glory of God as our infant Savior was born into this world. He was there when the shepherds were drawn by the light of Christ, and the wise men came to pay homage to this newborn King. We can only imagine what joy filled the heart of this righteous man as he gazed upon the face of the divine infant, so small and vulnerable, and yet destined to be the Savior of the world. Pope Francis, in his apostolic letter, Patris Cordiae, explains that it was as a beloved father that Joseph placed himself at the service of the entire plan of salvation. Once again, we can imagine Joseph holding Jesus for the first time and being transformed by this moment of encounter, called into mission, placing his heart and all his ability at the service of the Messiah. Have you ever seen a first-time father hold his infant son or daughter? With a father's heart, he holds his son or daughter with a tender strength, and he has a look of joy and at the same time a grave look that speaks of his sense of responsibility and hope for his child. I have 6 brothers who are fathers, and I saw firsthand how fatherhood immediately transformed each of them. I saw how becoming fathers and encountering their children for the first time set them in a new way on their own mission of loving service for the sake of another. Now, my dear brothers are very ordinary men with ordinary hearts, called through their children to a deeper embrace of their vocation to love. Pope Francis points out that St. Joseph, on the other hand, turned his human vocation to domestic love into a superhuman oblation of himself, a total self-offering out of love for the Christ child and for his redemptive purpose. As we reflect on this joy of St. Joseph, I am wondering, how can each of us participate in this joy? Though we did not have the same privilege of Joseph, who gazed upon the Christ child's most precious face, we do have an opportunity daily to gaze upon our Eucharistic Lord in adoration chapels that are found throughout the archdiocese in various parishes. And though we do not get to cradle the divine infant in our arms, as Joseph did, we do have the daily opportunity to receive into our very being our Eucharistic Lord, who, in the words of St. Francis, continues to humble himself as he hides himself under the little form of bread. And just as St. Joseph had the joy of hearing the choir of angels sing the Gloria, we can join in this exaltation when Christ, the Son of the living God, is on the altar in the hands of a priest. What joy this is. Let us go to Joseph and ask him to lead us into the transforming presence of our Eucharistic Lord. So, like St. Joseph, we too can make a total oblation of ourselves out of love of Jesus and at the service of the entire plan of salvation. If we do this, we surely will know the joy of St. Joseph.